Hello everyone, my name is Jennifer McCray. How is your day today? Well, it's gonna be kind of it's gonna be kind of sad after I show you this video. But anyway, I'll go ahead. Um, I'm Jennifer McCray, and this is my video channel, and I'm going to show you a video that's going to be graphic, gruesome, disclaimer, graphic, gruesome, um, horrific, atrocious, and just horrible. Um, and the title of this video is going to be the psychology of child mass shooter killer. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Jennifer McCray, and you have reached my video, Jennifer McCray J Shrink. And today we're going to talk about something that's going to be very difficult for anybody who views this video. I'm going to have a disclaimer. The disclaimer is fair use of Copyright Act of 1976, and my other is discretion, viewer discretion advised. If you are, and it's for educational purposes, and if you are someone who is squeamish about blood, squeamish about child abuse, gun violence, domestic abuse, or or somebody snapping with mental health issues, then or having a breakdown, then this may not be the video for you. Okay, this video is entitled "The Psychology of Child Mass Killer Shamar Elkins." Okay, so we got all that out of the way. I've been fascinated with serial killers and mass killers. I used to write papers when I was in school, while other people wrote on, where they wanted to, what they wanted to be when they grow up. But this video is going to tell a little bit about him, because some people don't, you have to have, sometimes you have to be the devil's advocate. You have to compartmentalize. So I'm putting on my mental health, um, devil's advocate hat, and that's the way. That's how I'm going to go ahead and give you some insight into why. I want to know why he did it, why he killed, why Shamar Elkins killed those 8 kids. What was going on with him? What was going on in his mind? Did he snap? Was he just wanting to, just nihilistic and looking for doom and destruction? But anyway, Shamar Elkins was born in Shreveport in 1994. His mother was a crack addict and a teenager who couldn't keep him, so she gave him up to be raised by one of the family's close relatives, Betty Walker. And Betty Walker, she was the close family friend. She kind of adopted him, and she raised him. I saw some videos where this, touch one of look at their childhood to see how they became that way. They said that even though he was born to an addictive mother who was addicted to crack cocaine, he still was just a regular boy, just mannerable, nice, regular boy. That one of his friends said, and who had known him for 26 years. So, he didn't lure boys or girls and unalive them, or he didn't torture animals. He wasn't fascinated with grotesque stuff, and it's just, I don't know. It's just something that's just sad. But he joined the army after. He didn't reconnect with his mother, Mahalia Elkins, until he was a grown man in his 20s. He served. When he left high school, he enrolled in the Louisiana Army National Guard. He served there for 7 years, and at that time he was with Shaquita Pugh. He lived with her for 10 years, and he worked at the UPS. Now, at the UPS, one of the guys said that one of his co-workers said that they were kind of worried about him because he had trichotillomania. That's when you were under a great deal of stress and you just pull your hair out. He had patches and patches on his head, and everybody wondered, and he always seemed stressed. But he did his job, so he didn't have any problems on the job other than the personal problems that he had that manifested in the trichotillomania, which is the putting out of the hair on the head. Can you hold on a minute? I've got this video I'm going to give you.
Christina Snow, his former partner and the mother of his 3 other children, lived on Harrison Street nearby. The children moved between both households regularly. On the night of April 18th, all 8 were together under the West 79th Street roof. That was not unusual. That was their normal. He knew exactly where every one of them would be. His UPS co-worker Willie Vasher described a man who pulled his hair out strand by strand throughout every single shift. A bald spot had formed on his head from the tick. His mother had noticed it too. Nobody asked what it meant. Trichotillomania, the clinical name for compulsive hair pulling, is a documented stress response often associated with severe anxiety and emotional dysregulation. It was visible to everyone around him every day. It was the most public signal his body was sending, and it went completely unread. In 2019, a judge handed him 18 months probation for firing a weapon near a school full of children. That was the system's first real entry point, and it chose the lightest possible door. Then in February this year, he attempted suicide. He went to the VA. He was released. He went home to the same dissolving marriage, the same looming court date, the same financial pressure. Happy is not healed. The VA gave him a week and a half and then sent him back into the exact environment that was breaking him. Standard protocol for a patient in active suicidal crisis, returning to a high-stress domestic situation, requires a structured aftercare plan and follow-up contact. There is no public record of either. 8 children are the cost of that gap. The moment a victim tells an abuser they are leaving is statistically the most dangerous moment in any domestic relationship. Shaniqua filed divorce papers. Elkins found out. There was a court date the next morning. That sequence, disclosure, legal action, imminent finality, is the documented trigger pattern for separation violence in familicide cases. If you are in a situation where you are afraid, do not announce. Do not confront. Build a plan quietly with people you trust completely and move when he does not know it is coming. Several comments raised this, and it is not an unreasonable lens. His biological mother, Mahalia, was battling a crack cocaine addiction when she gave birth to him as a teenager and gave him to Betty Walker to raise. Prenatal cocaine exposure is associated with documented impacts on impulse control, emotional regulation, and the development of the prefrontal cortex. the part of the brain most responsible for long-term decision-making. This does not make what he did inevitable. Millions of people born into identical circumstances never harm anyone.
Okay, y'all, we saw that video describing the stressors, the environmental or the outside stressors, and the external stressors, and the internal stressors. I'm sorry. And I wanted to add in here, but I couldn't put in here because it would make the video longer and it'd be more complicated. But Shaquita, part of the motive is Shaquita. She was tired of him. She did a whole video on Facebook saying how she was tired of him. She didn't want him any. She was tired of him. She didn't want him anymore. She was tired of cleaning up behind him. She was tired of cooking out after a man. She just wanted to be herself with her children. Okay? But he knew that even though that was a manipulation ploy, when the second time he went to the hospital when he tried to commit suicide. He didn't try the first time, but when he tried the second time, he called her and she came. She wasn't very serious about the separation or how to deal with it. And Betty Walker saw that. She heard him say that he would kill her, and he also heard her say that she heard him say that he would kill her, the children, and himself. She heard it 2 times. When they were on the couch. I didn't put that part on there, but they were on the couch and they were arguing, and he told him that, and she came out. She was cooking. She came out the kitchen, and she told him, "Don't play like that. Don't play like that." And he said that in front of her twice. So, and he knew what he was doing. He didn't just snap. He was premeditated. And I'm going to give you a condition. It's not a condition, but it's a label for this, why he did it. He had a psychological traits. I'm not a diagnostician. I'm just a master's level psychology person. He had a severe anxiety disorder. And he most likely got that because he wanted to, how most children who are adopted, they long to see their parents. They want to know why the parent gave them away. And most likely he still saw. They lived in Cedar Grove, and he still saw Mahalia, when he was growing up. Even though he was adopted by, Miss Betty Walker. So most likely he felt severe. Why didn't she want me? Why did she give me away? Even though those factors of being a crack addict and everything and being pregnant, we don't know if that affected it either. That played a role. And he had two psychological disorder traits. I'm saying traits. I'm not saying disorder. I can't say that. But anyway, he had severe separation anxiety, and we just talked about that. He longed to have a family. I assume he didn't have any brothers or sisters. It was just him, Miss Walker, and her husband. But like the Octomom, remember the Octomom that had the 8 babies. Remember when she said she longed for a family. She always wanted a nuclear family with brothers and sisters that she could, play with and love and everything. He was looking for that too. He also had traits of rather borderline personality disorder. Borderline personality disorder it's kind of like it has the trait of the abandonment of the severe separation anxiety, uh, and borderline personality disorder. They both had that, but borderline personality disorder had the added added traits of characteristics of being emotionally unstable, which he was. He went to people, crying and everything, and having a turbulent relationship, which they feel that they have been abandoned, and they use manipulation like they did, like he did the second round. When the date was coming up to the 20th, it was about, I think it was 17th, 18th, whatever. He tried to commit suicide as a form of manipulation to keep Shaquita there. And Shaquita, she still came to the hospital to visit him, and I don't know why she did that, but she should have done like that man said, separated herself and found a secret place where she could hide from him, because what happened next was just tragic. So we have what's called a male military family annihilator. Annihilator is a word that criminologists and psychologists use on men who kill their whole families and themselves. So, he believed that he had a right over his family's lives and to control them or manipulate them. So theirs is a loss of control of family. And it says, this type of perpetrator, usually the father, the head of the household, who want to kill their intimate partners and their children because they're driven by a perceived collapse of structure. In his case, he saw himself as losing his idea of a traditional nuclear family life, and he was real happy and satisfied. He didn't feel alone, like he did before. And he was he was habituated with Shaquita and the kids, having the kids to play with and being with Shaquita, and that was a long period of time. And they also have struggles with mental health issues, and we said they killed the family. There's another one called the subtype called disappointed killer. They seek to punish the family for not living up to their structured ideal life of a nuclear family. So, and interestingly enough, y'all, they said of all the cases that I read that happened, they did it on a Sunday. They always did it on a Sunday before the Monday that they would try to kill themselves. They unalive themselves, but they all did it on a Sunday, and that's interesting. Anyway, I have a video channel, and you can see Jennifer McCray, J Shrink. It's in the description box down below. And you'll see this videos like this and other videos from a psychological viewpoint. And just if you're in this kind of situation, because we have Borg Steel and National Guard here, we may have some of those men hidden here in Shreveport and in Bossier. Do what that video says. Quietly leave and don't tell him, and get somebody's secret to help you get away. And you have a nice day. Thank you and goodbye.